Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. We have some stuff to talk about for tonight, and well, some of that being relatively some of the same things that we've been talking about as we go throughout the past couple of nights, but let's go and look at what's on tap tonight. Well, we will obviously always be talking about the current condition, what's currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina. Also, we will also go on and talk about the weather for tonight. Rather that be the dry with the patchy dense fog potential. As well, we'll talk about tomorrow's weather, as well as for our short-term future, long-term future, and then just our increasing temperatures, especially as it just continues to get warmer. So starting off, before we start off, if you have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so. Right now, we have around a good 4 people in here and 4 likes, so it seems like everybody has hit the like button so far. But just in case you haven't, go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go and hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're at 706, trying to get to 894 away from that main goal. And also go in and hit the share button. Share with your friends, your family members, acquaintances, people that you don't even talk to like that, because it helps the channel out, and it will help us propel to that goal and helps out the channel content. So we're going to go on and just start off with our current conditions, stuff that we always start off with every night. And you can see that there is absolutely nothing going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. But if we scroll our way out, see what's going on right now throughout the entire U.S., well, we do in fact have some rainfall mixed with some sleet, maybe some snow going on in New York. Also, some rainfall going on over here near Chicago. You have some snowfall mixing as well in here in northwestern Minnesota. And then just a whole convective mess just going on over here in the west with rain, mixed precipitation, snow, just all of the above going on throughout the west right now. So they're receiving a good amount, and that was expected. This is honestly their time to really shine right now, but that obviously will cause problems for us. This whole system that's going on over here will cause problems as it continues to move its way towards the east. And we'll talk about that, especially as we talk about the entire U.S. again at the end of the stream. Cloud cover for the most part up there inside the northwestern part of the state. Cloud cover definitely is ongoing, but if we go on and kind of look at our long-term cloud cover, I mean, like I said, cloud cover is not really that prominent right now. More than anything, it's just like a little bit, like a little, not even that dense, like very, very light up there, if it is occurring at all. And that's what we can kind of see, just some light clouds, very, very light. But if you go on and continue forward, here's like 12 o'clock in the morning still, nothing. Going all the way through, we don't really start to see that dense cloud cover maybe trying to move its way in until around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And then as we get into around 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you're actually seeing some fog going on, not only in the Midlands, but also inside the Low Country. You're seeing some fog going on inside of the upstate maybe a little bit as well as you go into tomorrow morning. So do not be shocked if you see fog cover as you go into tomorrow. Now, it'll go away obviously as the morning progresses into the afternoon. We actually look almost mostly cloudy as we get into the late morning, early afternoon time frame. Then as we go all the way to 3 to 4 o'clock p.m., cloud cover again trying to move its way out. Nice and clear for a lot of areas. Upstate getting their cloud cover for the most part. And then as you go into around 8 o'clock p.m., 9 o'clock p.m., 10 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, looks like that cloud cover is now going near the coastal areas, maybe a bit towards the upstate and the PD areas and Midland areas. Going through Tuesday night, going into Wednesday morning, and then we just are completely covered with clouds as we go through Wednesday afternoon, going into Wednesday evening. Now, what about for our current temperatures? Well, right now, current temperatures seem to be around 47 in Somerville, 51 in Charleston, as well as 51 in Beaufort, 51 in Hilton Head Island, as well as a good 47 in Georgetown, 49 in Murrells Inlet, as well as 47 in Myrtle Beach, 44 in Conway, and 46 in North Myrtle Beach, 49 in Orangeburg, and 51 in Aiken. 49 in Columbia, and even around a good 47 in Hartsville and Lancaster, 49 in Newbury, as well as Union, 50 in Lawrence and Greenwood, as well as 52 in Anderson, 53 in Clemson, and 49 also inside of Spartanburg, Gaffney, as well. Now for our air quality, for the most part, air quality is still good. If you look at the legend at the top right part of your screen, you can see good, 0 to 50, pretty much everybody. But we have one little moderate area, and it's over there near Sumter, going over near Florence as well. And again, moderate, not unhealthy for sensitive groups, but just more on the more regular side in terms of moderate activity here. Low temperatures for tonight. It looks like for the most part that we are going to be around 30s for a good amount of us, like 36 in Spartanburg, 38 in Greenville, 36 in Lawrence, Winsboro, Columbia, 35 in Cheraw and Camden and Sumter, as well as Florence, 34 Kingstree, 37 in Anderson and Orangeburg, as well as 38 in Walterboro and Aiken, 44 in Charleston, 40 Myrtle Beach, and 47, probably one of the warmest locations, being over here near Hilton Head Island. And then if we want to look at our high temperatures for tomorrow, for Tuesday, looks like we have around a good 65 in Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, as well as 64 in Rock Hill. 65 in Winsboro, as well as 66 in Newberry, 69 in Columbia, as well as 67 in Camden and Florence, 68 in Kingstree, Moncks Corner, 69 in Walterboro, and 64 in Georgetown and Hilton Head Island, 63 in Charleston. Now for our rainfall, look at this. No rainfall is expected throughout the next 24 hours, or at least no total accumulation is expected as we go throughout the next 24 hours. So do not expect any sort of heavy rainfall. Do not expect any sort of accumulation for rainfall as we go throughout the next 24 hours. Rain gear not expected. Now for the crazy score. I have no idea why I didn't change. It's supposed to be a 22. I could have sworn that I did change it. Or that it changed, but apparently it didn't, so I gotta go on and, but I already did, so looks like we're good for right now. It should be at a 26 out of 100. Why is that a 26? If you have no idea what the crazy score is, by the way, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina, and we're at a 26. Well, why? Number one, for the most part, it's going to be dry. It's going to be mostly clear to clear. Winds are going to be light and calm. And then you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, well, that looks like, for the most part, more of a calmish weather scenario. So why are you inside of the mild category? Why did this automated system put it in the 26, in the mild category? Well, if you remember when we were talking about the cloud cover, it said potential for patchy fog. Even the models were showing patchy fog potential. So that's the main reason why we're at a 26, is because of fog conditions. And I just saw that chat from Mr. Chris. Perfect night for radiational cooling. Absolutely. I was just about to say that. Just stole the words out of my mouth. I just was about to say that. Great night for radiational cooling. Clear skies. Winds are light. And then for the most part, that's big. And also, it's the dry, the air is dry out there. It's not too moist or anything like that. We have dry air out there. That also adds into it as well. Now, if we go on even into our SPC outlook for tonight, nothing. Tomorrow, nothing. Wednesday, still nothing in terms of thunderstorm activity. So thunderstorms are not expected throughout the next 3 days. Nothing in terms of fire weather activity either. Excessive rainfall, nothing as well. So we're good here as well. So we're going to go in and just quickly jump over to the models. Times at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure that you go in and pay attention to that, because that is very, very important. And we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. We push this forward all the way through. Here's 10 o'clock p.m. going all the way to 12 o'clock in the morning. Going into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Nice and dry. Go all the way to 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock p.m. And we still just look nice and dry. Going all the way to 5 o'clock, going over into 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday. Still nothing. It's not really until you get into maybe a bit later on Wednesday that you may see some isolated sprinkles or drizzles start to show up inside of the Midland areas. That's 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And that goes through all the way 11 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. But like I said, this isn't anything too big. This is more of a kind of just like a little light drizzle action. Maybe at most a little light shower. But this is also outside the 24-hour mark, so it wouldn't be counted on the total precipitation map either way. But as we go into Wednesday, I mean, especially Wednesday morning, don't be shocked if you definitely see some isolated drizzle activity or maybe even a little light shower. It's possible. After that, though, I mean, that's it. Even as you go into Wednesday evening, just looks relatively dry. Now, as we move on even further into the future, we're going to go ahead and push this forward. And you can see as we go through Wednesday, going into Thursday, still nice and dry. Going into Friday, that's finally when we're going to maybe see some rainfall. Friday around 1 o'clock p.m., 4 o'clock p.m., maybe 7 o'clock p.m. on Friday. Somewhere in between that afternoon and evening time frame, we could see some rainfall activity throughout the state. And no, it's not just like a little drizzle activity. This is more of like a light shower or just shower in general activity. Now, if we go all the way through, I mean, Friday night really doesn't get, nothing really gets going. It's not really until you get into around Saturday morning that you start to see this rainfall activity really start to take shape. Goes throughout the upstate, goes throughout the Midland areas, goes throughout the PD areas as well. Going all the way to 1 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, I mean, you're still seeing rainfall going on throughout the state. And what you notice is there's a little system that pops up. Here we are at Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. You have moderate rainfall going on up there inside the upstate. Some of that may actually be thunderstorm activity. And could this be a potential repeat of what we just saw last weekend? Potentially. Is severe weather possible? We checked it yesterday. We saw some Cape there. I mean, do we see Cape there again today? For the most part, it looks like that, we do. It's very little. In fact, only like 100 joules per kilogram, so not that high. Even as you go into, this is Sunday, like morning, like early morning, 286, maybe 300, somewhere in there. So, I mean, is severe weather looking possible? I mean, I think it's something to look out for. I'm not definitely panicking over it. I'm not saying it's 100% certain either, because I think it's just way too far out. I mean, this is like just less than a week out. So we're really going to have to just watch this and really just say, I mean, is there even going to be enough Cape? We know there's going to be enough moisture. We know that the dew points are there. And in terms of the winds up in the upper atmosphere, I mean, we see that. That is all there. Really just is all based on that timing. And what happens here. Now, if you continue this forward even more, this goes all the way now into Sunday at around 7 o'clock in the morning. And again, that system's moving out. We're nice and dry. And that cold front is moving in. Now we have drier conditions moving throughout the state as we go into Sunday evening. And so that will start us off for a cooler week. And the timing with this has kind of shifted. Because if you remember kind of like yesterday or maybe even the day before, it was showing this cold air right here trying to make its way kind of like through probably like a bit earlier than this. So I think it actually shifted a little bit later. We'll check out the anomalies and all that kind of stuff, but definitely starting off cooler and going to Monday of next week. Not this week, obviously, next week. Now we're getting like outside of this week territory, but you go through Tuesday, you go through Wednesday, nice and dry. Looks like another dry week is potentially possible as we go into next week, but as you go into Thursday, Friday, another system potentially is possible as you go into next week. But overall, that's just way too far out. Things right there will 100% change. Now, if we go on, because obviously, precipitation type obviously not being the only thing here that we obviously need to look at. We need to look at temperatures as well. We start off here Tuesday, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is, honestly, like a couple hours from now at this point. And you're seeing near normal temperatures, near normal. You're seeing some negatives, you're seeing some positives here and there. And if you go in and push this forward, go all the way through Tuesday, go into Tuesday afternoon, what do you see? You see temperatures above average, by 5 to 10 degrees. This is the start of the warm-up that we will see this week. We go all the way through into Tuesday night. Still 5 to 10 degrees above average. But then you move all the way into Wednesday. Look at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Now we're 10 to 15 degrees above average. Some spots maybe even more than 15 degrees above average on Wednesday. Going into Wednesday during the nighttime hours, now we're approaching 15 to 20 degrees above average as we go into Thursday. And as the week progresses, you're seeing that these temperatures are just going to continue to go up and up more and more and more as we continue more throughout the week. You go on all the way into, I'm going to click that, there we go. You continue your way all the way through going into Friday. Look at Friday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 20 to 25 degrees above average as you go into Friday morning. Now, obviously, when we see these temperatures right here above average, a lot of people may be thinking, oh, that means it's going to be like blistering hot. It's going to be like 90, 100 degrees. No. Not what it means. Just means that it will be 20 degrees above average. Now, what do those exact temperatures look like? Well, we'll go on and talk about that, like I said, in a second. But we're just looking at averages right now. We'll look at the exact temperatures in a little bit. Friday, you start to see some inconsistencies. You see around like 16 around Columbia. You see 9 in Charleston. You see 19 in Myrtle Beach. You see 20 inside of Greenville. And that goes all the way through around 7 o'clock p.m., going all the way into 10 o'clock p.m. on Friday, Saturday. We're still above average. But watch as we go into the weekend. Temperatures easily start to get below average as you go into Sunday, as you go into Sunday afternoon, as you go into Sunday evening. You're seeing these temperatures drop down to being below average as you go into Sunday night. So, what's the biggest takeaway from this? It's going to be definitely warmer as we get more and more throughout the week. But once we hit that weekend mark, especially Saturday night going into Sunday, and especially Sunday night going into Monday, these temperatures are going to drop quick. In fact, they're going to drop so fast. I mean, it's going to change from 20 degrees above average to negative 20 degrees below average, or 20 degrees below average. So we're looking at a lot of just changing going on in the atmosphere as we continue, to go throughout the rest of February. I mean, even if we go into midweek next week, it's still going to be below average in terms of the temperatures. Even as you go all the way into Friday, going into Saturday as well, still kind of below average, more near average. But I mean, as we go into the first day of March, I mean, it looks like we're going to be near average, but as we continue throughout the first couple of days of March, maybe more above average. But let's go ahead and look at the actual temperatures. So we're going to look at the actual temperatures here. We're going to start off here on Tuesday, 1 o'clock in the morning. You go ahead and push this forward, and you see definitely warm air. You definitely see that warm air trying to make its shape. We saw the high temperatures for tomorrow. Now, watch as we go into Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Wednesday at 4 o'clock p.m. You're starting to see temperatures up into the 70s for a lot of us. And even in the mid-70s for a good amount of us as we go into Wednesday. Go into Wednesday night. Going into Thursday morning, you're still seeing temperatures inside of the mid to upper 50s. And then as you go all the way into Thursday, during like the highest parts of the day, looks like we're around 75, 76 for a good amount of us. Seems like almost everybody's in the 70s except for maybe some coastal areas. Continuing through all the way to Friday, and this right here is the day that I am really looking at to where we may see some 80s in the forecast. 80s, yes, 80 degrees, some maybe even 82, 83, potentially possible as we go into Friday of this week. The more we get into the week, the warmer and hotter it's going to get, even as you go into Saturday as well. Saturday still showing some 80s as well. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the long-term future. That's my breakdown on it. And then as you go more and more into like the future, obviously you go all the way into next week. You easily start to see those freezing temperatures coming back. Freezing temperatures are not done. We're not done with freezing temperatures yet. Do not put your guard down for that yet. We are not done with freezing temperatures yet. We still have some more days to go through with it. So do not stop preparing for that if you have to. But that's all I have to say for the long-term future. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. And if you remember last night, we put a poll inside the chat. Seems like everybody is excited about this warm air coming in. So we'll see what people are saying now. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. He also says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you have not already. Also, share with everyone that you know. It helps the channel grow, and it gets the information out. He's absolutely correct. Right now, we have around a good... let me go on and check it out on a different tab. We have around a good amount of people on here. Oh, did it shut down both of them? That's very sad, actually. But it seems like almost everybody has hit the like button at this point. It says 8 right now, currently 8 people watching, 8 likes right now. So it seems like everybody has, but just in case if YouTube is having an issue, go on and hit the like button if you have not already. Like I said, it's free. Like he said, it's free. Helps get the information out. And subscribe if you're new. My Aunt Lewis says, I pray that everyone had a lovely day today. And good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Chris says, currently it's 47 degrees here and clear. And then Thad says, good evening, 360 Weather 360 family. I trust everyone had an amazing day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. And then Mr. Chris, I do appreciate that weather update for where you were. Okay, so this is not wanting to be my friend. YouTube is still having problems, as it does almost every night at this point. So I'm going to read this on the other screen. Oh,
we all do it. You see a line and wonder, should I join it?
Okay. That a video started playing. I do apologize for that. There we go. Okay, let me go in and go back real quick. YouTube is really acting up right now. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. I don't know how in the world I went from my stream setup to a YouTube video, but continuing down though, you want to see, it says, my Aunt Lula says, today in Georgetown, our high was around 58 degrees. Well, thank you so much for that weather update for where you are, for your high temperatures. And actually, at my house, let me see what my high temperatures were today. Oh, that's not, there we go. All right, seems like my high temperatures for today seems to be around 62-ish. So somewhere around there, around 62. Current temperatures at my house right now is around 46, so somewhere around there. And then Mr. Chris says was around 59 here for a high for you as well. So higher than both of those today, it seems. That says it was a very beautiful warm day here in San Antonio. We managed to get some yard work done. Well, that I am glad to go on and hear that. And then that says it was also a roughly 77 degrees, slightly breezy, very comfortable. Glad to hear that as well. Continue our way down even more. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Marlo says, currently our weather is 47 right now as she speaks. And then my name says, hello, Jay. It's chilly, but bright sunshine that I enjoyed. Glad to hear that. And then my Aunt Lewis says, it's better than having 23 to 30 degrees. Absolutely. We started out early this morning with some clouds until noon. Thank you so much for that. And then Mr. Chris says, same here. Start off cloudy, cleared up. And then, continuing down even more, Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Mr. Chris says, going to love this warm weather coming over the next couple of days. Well, I sure am as well. And then also, Thad says, wow, those are some very good, or just some good temperatures above the average. More freezing temperatures coming. Well, yes, freezing temperatures are not done. Freezing temperatures are not done. Definitely do not take your guard down for that. But now that that is all out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking 4 locations outside of South Carolina. What are you talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we go in and give their weather forecast to them. So starting off with San Antonio first, low temperatures tonight around 56, high temperatures tomorrow around 83, and then low temperatures tomorrow night 60 on the dot. Precipitation not expected tonight, but tomorrow, nothing as well. Patchy fog definitely is going to be a bit of a concern, though, tomorrow morning, so make sure that you watch out for that. Now, in terms of your rainfall, no rainfall for the future. Temperatures in the future looks like that you will be warming up. 85 on Thursday, 82 on Friday. But then you will cool down as you go into like this weekend going into next week, right? Being in the 70s and 60s. Now going into Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at around 35, high temperatures tomorrow at around 64, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 48. Precipitation not expected at this time. There definitely is a bit of a patchy fog risk as we go into tomorrow morning. Same thing as San Antonio. And then even as you go into like Thursday, Friday, going to like your future, looks like that you will be warming up, 76 degrees. You see a good chance of rainfall as well as you go into like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, as you go on into your Philadelphia, by the way, I didn't mention this, but also severe weather, excessive rainfall not expected. So for any of these locations, except for Duncan, which we'll talk about once we get there. Then for Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight at around 31, high temperatures tomorrow at around 46, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 37. Precipitation not expected. Patchy fog definitely will be a bit of a concern, though, as you go into tonight into tomorrow. And then for your future, looks like that you will be staying pretty stagnant. In fact, you may actually be cooling down a little bit, especially as you go into Monday of next week, 38 being your high. So you actually might warm up a little bit, 50, 51-ish here and there, but that's about it. And then in terms of Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at around 54, high temperatures tomorrow at around 80, low temperatures tomorrow night at 49. Excessive rainfall not expected at this time, but severe weather. It's not the convective thunderstorm severe weather potential. It is the fire weather on Thursday. We talked about this yesterday, but Thursday, a fire risk is there. 40 to a 69% chance of critical conditions for fire within 12 miles of a given point. So make sure that you're paying attention for that as you go into Thursday. And don't burn anything if you don't have to. I think that is about all that I have to say here. For your future, looks like that you will be actually cooling down. As you go throughout the end part of the week, going into early next week, you will be cooling down. So you just expect that. No precipitation for you, though. And also for Philadelphia, I forgot to mention, it will be a rainy weekend for you. Well, a rainy start to your weekend. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, going into maybe Saturday. But that's about it. That's all I have to say throughout these 4 areas outside of South Carolina. So what's going on right now throughout the entire U.S., weather news-wise? That includes South Carolina. That includes the areas that we just talked about. Well, seems like gusty to high winds and low relative humidity will bring elevated to critical fire weather to the central and the southern plains into Wednesday. 2 Pacific storms will impact the western U.S. into Wednesday with gusty winds, low elevation rainfall, and heavy mountain snow. You also will see some dense fog as well going on in western Illinois. That is not Illinois. Western Ohio and eastern Indiana. And then also some snowfall. In fact, maybe even a little bit of a blizzard going on over there inside of eastern Minnesota, going on, at least that's the blizzard area, but winter storm watches out for Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, parts of northern Michigan, the UP of Michigan, just a lot of other areas. But the main stuff's going out there in the west, where there's going to be lots of high winds, lots of high elevation snow, and maybe even some low elevation rain. But one of the main things that's definitely going to be talked about as we go throughout the next couple of days is that severe weather risk that just popped up. You might be asking, severe weather risk, what are you talking about? I thought you said nothing for South Carolina, and there is nothing going on for South Carolina. South Carolina is not included in this, but it is definitely going to be on Thursday. If you know, anybody in the Indianapolis area, the St. Louis area, the Cincinnati area, the Louisville area, the Lexington, Fayette, Kentucky areas, let them know severe weather is coming for them on Thursday. That area will be redefined here and there, but they have a 15% risk of severe weather. We haven't seen this since October. And the fact that 4 days out and they're already confident saying, yes, there's already a 15% risk of severe weather means that they are, like I said, confident. The experts confident about it and think that there is already a good chance of it happening. So, like I said, know anybody in these areas, let them know. And then for the most part, I think that is about all for the long-term future. So that's all I have to say here. Let me check out the chat. SC Radar Timelapse says, I want this code to get out. Same. I do not want it back. I do not want it back anymore either. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. 18 people have tuned in so far. Only 9 likes. 9 people have not hit the like button so far, so go on and do so. Also hit the subscribe button. We're at 706, trying to get to 800. And share. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, people that you don't even talk to like that, because it's free. And you can change your mind at any time. What about top fans of the night for tonight? Well, it's another win for Mr. Chris for tonight. And then Maya Olu is at number 2. Thad is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can by joining us here, 9 o'clock p.m., being a subscriber of the channel, being here early, and being active. If you're not doing one of those 4 things, then you might not be a part of that list. So definitely go on and do so. So let's go on and give them a round of applause. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for today. And that's all that I have to say. So make sure, like I said, you did all the things. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave. I'll be back here tomorrow morning for your Tuesday morning forecast update and your Tuesday evening forecast update tomorrow evening, where we will continue to talk about this warm-up. We're now getting into the short term for this warm-up. This warm-up's coming up fast. So really prepare for that. Even though I know a lot of people are preparing for it, we'll just be spending time outside, which is also fine as well. Because we definitely deserve it after this long stretch of cold air. But I will be back tomorrow morning. Apologies as well for no video this morning. I do apologize for that. I made a little apology post for it, if you didn't see it already. But hit those 2 buttons before you leave, and I will be back tomorrow morning. Hit those 2 buttons.